Hey everyone, I am with Jesse Dejardins. He is with the Australia Tourism Board, and what a presentation he gave here in Sydney. And I just wanted to have him share some of his insights. He is the brains behind one of the most popular Facebook pages in the world. It's not unusual for some of his posts to get millions of likes. So Jesse, what were some of the themes from your talk yesterday that you can pass along to the readers here on Grow?
Sure. So I work for Tourism Australia. We're essentially the government organization that's responsible for promoting tourism here in Australia. So we manage the Australia page, Australia on Instagram and on Twitter. So a big theme in my talk yesterday was that sort of to have an unfair advantage in the content marketing space, social media really, in a way, allows us to create a platform that other people can build on top of, right? So instead of us creating all the content every single day, what we've done is about 2.5 years ago, we turned all our social platforms to our audience, to our fans, to our industry. And today we get about 900 photos that are sent to us every single day.
900?
900
a day?
A day.
And I love the theme you said. You've got the world's biggest social media team.
Yeah, I mean that was the name of our social media strategy that we created about 2.5 years ago. And the premise was that it wasn't one person, which was me at the time, or 3 people that we have now doing the work. It was actually, if we did this thing right, we can actually get our whole army of advocates helping us and get behind us what we do.
So in this world of declining organic reach,
yes,
you guys are still soaring. So what's your secret?
I think it's the principle behind it. I think it's kind of where it's coming from. If you look at all our content that we feature every day, it's always about making someone else the hero. And I think that was another kind of major theme in our content, and why our content works so well, is that if I feature your photo, right, and you're from Perth, you can tell a much better story from Perth because you actually lived there or you visited there. It's a story that you can take much further than we can ever take on our own. So I'd say 99% of the content we do in social, it's always someone else's content. We bring that person in to help tell a story for the day.
Yeah. So you're really finding those stories and that excellent content and finding a way to celebrate it. And now, let's be honest here. There's also an attitude about your page.
There is.
There's an attitude, and it's kind of like you said. It's on brand, though, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. And
you have a little fun.
Well, I think that's the key for anyone making content. I mean, it's to know what the brand values are that you're representing. And for us, it's crystal clear what our brand values are within our team. But instead of us creating that content, we're going out, we're finding content that aligns to that. And that's why it's going much further than we could ever take it on our own.
Now, you've got this army of passionate fans. How do you say no that their photos or ideas don't make the cut for the Australia page?
That's a good question. It's actually, a lot of the content's not always just submitted to us directly, so it's people using our hashtag, or we're always trying to encourage people to do it on their own platform. And I think people understand that we can't feature everything. We'll do 5 or 6 features on the @Australia Instagram account, and 1 feature globally down on our Facebook page. But again, it's not always about being featured sort of thing. It's also like a lot of our advocates want to add to the story that's already being featured.
So what type of a team do you have to sort through 900 submissions a day?
The best team. Like, honestly, I have Elva and Chloe who work on my team, and I have to say, none of us were social media experts when we started this, and I think that's almost like the best approach you can have, like to be an amateur, to constantly be an amateur.
Yeah.
We're constantly learning, and it's funny because a lot of people look at our strategy and they think they can pull out all these different tactics and they try to replicate it, but they don't really see the 90% of the work that goes on behind the scenes. Like we spend 90% of our time working directly with industry, like on the phone, on email, building up those relationships that get those photos. We don't just sit back and those photos come to us. I would say also too, about half the time we feature photos from those 900 photos that come through, the other half the time we're actively going out and building new relationships and doing the hard work. And I think that's what a lot of people don't talk about often too, is like the work that's involved.
It really is. Yeah. It's really intense content creation activity, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Constant. And how many times you post a day on average?
We'll do one global post a day, and
just
about
one.
6 times. Yeah, 6 times on Instagram.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and Jesse, how should people connect to you if they wanted to learn more about your wonderful site?
So you can just Google the world's biggest social media team, which our strategy has been talked about for the past couple of years, different variations. And then if you want to look us up on Facebook, it's just australia.com is our Facebook page. That's actually the name of the Facebook page. And we're at Australia on Instagram and at Australia on Twitter.
All right, thanks so much.
All right.